Hello guys, welcome to this podcast. I'm very sorry to my guests that we have to do this in English instead of our native tongue, Norwegian. I have from the west coast of Norway, I have Jørgen and Truls. Hello guys.
Hello.
Hi Fred.
Hey, how are you?
Well, it's a new year, new possibilities. Just finished a long and good Christmas holiday.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year, and
Happy New Year.
Actually, we are just we're now just starting to prepare for the big event of the year, which is your tournament in Oslo. So right now I'm painting for the first time in probably 6 months or so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Cool.
and I was just wrapped up. I got my sons some miniatures for Christmas. They're 6 and 8 years old. So we had just wrapped up assembling some night goblins and some lizardmen from Age of Sigmar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is this the first time you try to get your kids involved in the hobby?
No, actually, my eldest son, he's the 8-year-old. He's really interested. So he has painted some miniatures before and followed, Citadel paint guides to quite good results, I would say. So he's really interested. But the 6-year-old is more just to keep him satisfied while the other one paints, develops his hobby skills.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. So, Truls, how are you doing?
Apart from terrible internet, I'm pretty good. We've had at least one in the family has been ill since the week before Christmas. So, yeah, we just got back out of the whole thing from ear infections to throwing up and everything. So it's been quite a Christmas.
Oh shit! Oh, that's. I'm sorry for your loss.
That's fine. New year, new beginnings.
Yeah. So, are you doing any hobby-related stuff currently?
Yes, I am painting some abyssal dwarves. I got a friend of mine, Philip, to print me an Infernox. So I'm painting that at the moment. And also some Cartesian rocket launchers that he also printed for me.
Yeah.
So those are on my painting table at the moment. Also some infantry dwarves, but they probably won't make it into the list for Oslo, unfortunately. Maybe next time.
Okay, nice. So you're both doing some painting then. That's cool. Myself, I have not painted for a while because we are doing some sanitation, or we have to. Our part of our basement has this moisture problem, so we have to empty our entire what do you call it? The bod. Our whole
storage.
Our whole storage room had to be emptied, so all that stuff is now sitting in the room which I use for hobby and the wife uses for an office. So if I go in there, it's just I would have to sit in the middle of a huge mountain of boxes and I just don't. It doesn't feel good. Too much clutter. So I'm a bit in a hobby slump actually at the moment. But as soon as that's fixed, I hope I'll get back on the hobby horse. I first wanted to just speak a little about your guys' tournament in Bergen on the west coast of Norway, which is every autumn. It's been a couple of months now, but we never actually did a podcast about it because I tried to get the winner on, which was Morten, for many weeks, but he just never had time to go on the podcast or make a recording with me, and then we kind of forgot about it over Christmas, and today he's unavailable again. So this is our Reign of Kings summary,
Nice.
where I would love to hear you guys' thoughts about how it went and the experience, and maybe a little bit about the history of the tournament too. It's it's one of Norway's two mainstay events, or two staple events, I would say. The past several years has been like Reign of Kings in Bergen and the one early winter event in January in Oslo, which has changed names a couple of times, but it's been those two for a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Who wants to start? Maybe Jørgen?
No, maybe Truls can start, because Truls is actually was part of the first Reign of Kings that was organized. I don't know if you were part of the...
I think because Simon and I were some of the first people who played Kings of War in Bergen, right at the end of 8th edition and Warhammer Fantasy and all that stuff. And I was looking at getting into Kings of War either way, because I was so sick of having to learn all the rules from all the rule books and all the nitty bitty formations, changing formations and individual models and stuff like that. And I was just, had a small child, and I was like, I don't have time to be all grognardy about this game anymore. And so I was looking into Kings of War at the moment where the end times fantasy happened. And so Simon and I can't remember, I think because this is some years ago, but we were like some of the first Kings of War players, and I was pushing it pretty hard because people were leaning like, okay, we're going to play Ninth Age or going to play Age of Sigmar or whatever. So I was actually pushing this Kings of War pretty hard at the time, because I wanted people on board on it. So we decided to have this tournament at one point, and I'm a sucker for puns, so I'm the one who came up with the name as well. And it's
because it's rain. It's rain as in downpour,
yes,
rainy weather.
Because it rains a lot in Bergen.
Yeah.
So I think it's been every year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think the first one was in 2016, and it's been every year since.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is really, really good. I did actually have a quick look I found your rules pack from your event a couple of months ago, and it said in the rules pack it's the 8th installment of Reign of Kings. So
that sounds about right.
That's pretty epic, because that means you must have started in 2015, like a couple of months after anyone started playing Kings of War in Norway.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Now I just realized that we needed to start making events and to get people on board for the game.
Yeah, and we have been over from Oslo. We have been over, maybe not the first year, but at least every single year after that.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it.
And you keep coming back with even more people. I think the record is about 8 or 9 people traveling from Oslo. I think 8 was last year.
I think we were
maybe the year before.
I think we were 8 this time. I think that's the record.
Yeah.
But it's such a nice train ride. If you haven't been to Norway, it's I think it's been called one of the world's most beautiful train rides. If you go from between Bergen and Oslo, just make sure you go on the early train, so it's still daylight when you go over the mountains. And that's the train we take to go to your tournament. It's like one of those the world's most beautiful train rides. If you read like National Geographic, or I don't know who has this ranking, but it's quite fun that we do one of those super scenic rides. We did actually take the flight a couple of years. Which was all right, but we had a couple of guys push kind of hard for being a bit more climate friendly, so we switched to train, and we just stuck with that. It's quite comfortable. It takes time. It's an 7 hour ride or something. But it goes by pretty quick with a couple of board games or card games, and buy some drinks, have some beer on board. It's a great ride. So.
Yeah, and nerding out about all the lists.
Yeah, we don't actually do that too much, but we have some might do. We usually talk about anything and everything on the train over. So so this year you were as far as I can tell, there were 18 players.
Yeah, correct.
At the event.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
There is a nice core over there that show up every year, and then you also try to push the game a little outside the boundaries and maybe get in a couple of new faces now and then. But there are many returning players now. There's always always a return to seeing the friendly faces in Bergen when I come over.
Yeah, we have like a stable core of players, and then we have some kind of outliers that are more joining now and then, and we also have a couple of guys in north of Bergen that are trying to establish their own kind of Kings of War scene, especially one player, and we hope that can, because we kind of the core players are all men in their 40s with kids, so we are not really that outgoing and kind of pushing to recruit new people. We just don't have the time. So it's very good to see that some things are still happening, and we might get some influx of new players over time still.
Yeah,
so that's good.
So they want to go through some highlights from the tournament, like who won, and did you have some prize support this year, or did you just pay for it out of your own pocket?
I want to shout out to Morten. He was actually the one who did all the work of preparations and writing the rules pack and getting the locales, the place where we had the event. He did all the work, so I didn't actually contribute to anything this year.
Oh yeah.
That's I have to correct you, Truls, because it's not actually true. It was Morten and I that kind of did most of the. I didn't kind of have anything to do with the venue or anything, but I had to give Morten some gentle pushing and advice to keep things moving forward, and I also had to make a lot of terrain because we didn't actually get our normal venue this time, and we normally play in the gaming club in Bergen, but because of some difficulties with getting a whole weekend reserved, we had to find another venue, and so we actually got the kind of community spot in Morten's neighborhood. They have this kind of communal space, which was really good, but that meant we had to arrange a lot with terrain and making new terrain, and just to make sure we had full tables with everything that we need. So that was my contribution with the terrain part.
Yeah, well done.
And I think we have to say that even though it's easy and nice to host this event in the club, it's the terrain is not really up to par quality-wise, and we don't have normally use gaming mats. But this time I think we had 9 very nice-looking tables with gaming mats, and we got all the local players to kind of borrow out their private terrain, and then we supplemented with the things that were missing or lacking or that had too low quality. So all in all, I think kind of the frame around the event was really nice this year.
So it was even more of a community coming together and pitching in, everyone bringing terrain and resources. That was really exciting to have it in a new place. And there must have been a lot more work than usual, the way you describe it.
Definitely, and both Morten and I had several trips around picking up terrain in the days before, and we had a couple of nights before we had a setup night where we brought our kids, and they were playing all these kind of disco songs and singing karaoke while Morten and I were working. So it was really a nice. I think it was a good. It was a good time, and but next year I'm hoping we get the club again, and then we would just have to do a kind of a communal effort to produce some terrain for the club that is a bit more that has a bit higher quality than what is in the club right now. So.
Yeah, or
I don't know.
bring
I
some
think we
of
should.
the
I think we should.
letters.
I think we should. Invite get the kids together and start painting while they sing karaoke songs. Either way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we used to do that when our kids were younger. It was not with karaoke, but we had this daddy daycare Kings of War meets.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that absolutely saved my faskapspermisjon. Well, that as well.
Paternity leave.
Paternity leave. Thank you. Yeah, it's no, it was it really amped up the quality of my paternity leave.
Yeah.
Hanging out with you guys.
Likewise.
Awesome.
But
Cool.
should we give a shout out to the winner of the tournament as well?
Yes, please. Could you take maybe all the awards, top 3 and best painted and most sporting and.
Yeah, if I can remember, because I haven't prepared for this. But what we can, we've already given Morten credit for being the main organizer, and plot twist, he actually won the event himself, which is of course unheard of.
Shouldn't even be allowed, I think, to win your own event.
I agree, but that's what happened, and Morten is known in Norway for with the nickname Carlsen, because he plays Kings of War like Magnus Carlsen plays chess. So this time he won his own tournament, which is I think a long time coming, because he's one of our top players. But he has actually never won a tournament before, so this was the first time. So that was good. And just to make things even worse, the co-pilot, namely myself, came in second place in this tournament.
Yes.
So it might seem like the whole event was rigged, and I can assure you it was not intentionally anyway. And then we have the third place winner, which was our dark horse Kim, if I'm not mistaken. You have to correct me on that, Truls, if that was wrong. But I think Kim actually came in third.
I think you're right.
So there was a complete wipeout from the West Coast Cowboys, as we call ourselves, in this event, which was good, of course, because it's always like this friendly competition between the East and the West, which is it's nice to see that we can come out on top.
Absolutely, and not totally unexpected, because you guys have been finishing pretty high. I mean, Jørgen, you came second overall, I believe, last Kings of Oslo.
Yeah.
And Morten has always been placing really high. He's always been in close to winning, but I think this was his first actual top spot, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
He's been in second place a lot, I think. So it was well deserved, and finally he got his win. He just had to host it himself. He punched in all the scores, and Øyvind is convinced that he sort of made some Oslo players clash in the couple of last rounds just to keep us away from you guys.
No comment.
Oh man, yeah, but so good. All top 3 spots from Bergen then.
Yeah.
That was very impressive. Let's see if we can get you back in Oslo later this month. And we had the best army, and we had the most friendly. I believe both of those went to Oslo players, to East.
Yes, correct.
East Coast players, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think Vidar took best army, I think, and Martin took favorite opponent.
Yeah,
correct.
And we just have to mention Vidar's very creative and awesome looking Night Stalker army, which has this purple and green and pink color scheme, which is it's a really cool looking army. Very vibrant.
Yeah. And he has that display board, which is something not a lot of us really go that extra step to create. And it's not just a display board, it's like an integrated storyboard almost. When he puts his unit into the slots, then it's like a town. It's like the main street of a small village, and the villagers are being attacked by the Night Stalkers, and there are lots of farmers and pigs and stuff running around being killed by these Night Stalkers, but they are left on the board when you picks out the units. Most of that is still on the display board, so the army looks best when you slot them into their spots, which is really a nice touch.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really great.
Really cool.
Yeah, cool. And it was a good weekend for us too. It was fun to be in a new place. We had a couple of fun photos of us going to the local shop, to the local store. It was down a very steep hillside. It was so steep that the locals had put up a rope, so you could actually hold the rope while going down and up. And that was just such a fun thing to post. I think I posted it maybe in Kings of War Fanatics, actually. And people were like, where the hell is this? Why is there a tournament on top of a mountain?
Welcome to Norway.
Yeah, so that was fun. But it was a shortcut, of course. There was an actual road. You could drive a car around, but it would be a very, very long detour. This was the quickest trip. And carrying a bag of beer up there was also a bit like. Then you only had one hand for the rope and one hand on your plastic bag.
This is Ronnie Renton, and you are listening to the Mantic Universe podcast.
So So the West Coast tournament is still a very, appreciated and central part of the Kings of War community in Norway. Once every fall, it's not always on the same. It moves around a little bit, but it's always in autumn, like in the fall.
Yeah, I would also make a shout out to Tabletop Tabletop Battle.no, which was a sponsor. So they provided us with a lot of prizes, like sprues of miniatures that we gave out, and the first prize that we decided to pick random. So they did one random player, Eva. He got a starter box with the Abyssal Dwarf and the new Twilightkin models.
Oh yeah, that is the newest starter box, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. So that was
awesome.
very good of them.
I do shout out to Tabletop Battle for sure. They have been very nice and helpful. It's kind of it's the only place we, at least the most people I know, buy from them to get Mantic products, because they can get them in like toll free and free of shipping, which we save a lot of money on, because if I were to buy something like on the Mantic website, then I would do both shipping and like toll, like customs when they come into Norway, and it just almost doubles the price every time. So it's great to be able to order from Tabletop Battle. I do actually envy your prices this year. You had like the big starter box, and you had the sprues, like a sprue for each player with some relatively new and some very new models. That we all got to choose one sprue, and you had those nice glasses, like a large bear mug of glass mug, which were great. And Vidar and Martin used theirs on the train back. They were used right away.
Yeah.
For some post-event drinking on the train back. So it was really good. I will not be able to match your. I'm a bit more low effort on the prices. I believe that my diplomas are the ultimate glory to be won at Kings of Oslo. I haven't traditionally had too many miniatures for prizes and stuff, but I really did love that you had it though. So yeah. Well done.
But we just have to thank again Tabletop Battle, because our kind of the main prize at the Reign of Kings has been the latest years these beer mugs, which is kind of what we buy and kind of get produced for the event. So I think both this year and last year, the two latest events, I think all of our prize support has been almost exclusively donated by Tabletop Battle, so which is great. So it's
awesome.
Yeah.
Super. All right. So, any final words, final thoughts about the Reign of Kings you want to say before we move on to Kings of Oslo?
Yeah, if by chance any people from Great Britain or other places in Northern Europe want to join our event next year, please just reach out to Truls or you can search up the event page on Facebook, Reign of Kings. There should be an kind of open group.
There's a group, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a group. Yeah, correct. And you can join there and get in touch with us, because we would love to have players coming in from other places as well. If you would like to join.
And also, we'll make sure it doesn't crash with the Clash of Kings this year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. So either on Facebook, it's either the Reign of Kings group or maybe the Kings of War Norway group, because you can always find you guys on there as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Great. All right, so moving on. Coming up here in Norway, we have the Kings of Oslo GT, which is in how many days? 24 days or something? It's the last weekend of January, and I am the TO. It has changed name a couple of times, maybe just one time. It used to be called Conquest, and that's many people still call it that because that's kind of how it became famous. I had it for 3 years when it was called Conquest, and we had it at the hotel, which was really nice. And that's where we kind of built this January Oslo GT. We were almost at 30 players one year. I think we had 28. And then COVID hit, and everything took a couple of years break. But when we came back, that was last year, and I wanted to change the name because I was no longer having it at the hotel. It is now at our local gaming club in Oslo, which is called 2D6 Gaming Club. So now it is called Kings of Oslo, and last year was the first one. Or if I was an American, I would have said it was the inaugural one. Isn't it? Inaugural Kings of Oslo GT. Yeah. It's just a fancy way of saying it's the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this year is the second one. So, looking forward to have you guys back. As always, we travel to each other's events in Norway, so a little crew from Bergen is always nice to have over.
Yeah.
We are almost sold out. We have 2 spots left. We are at 24 players paid now. So it's looking pretty good. The room is not super huge, so 26 is the cap that I've set, because if we get more than 26, it will be a problem. But you know, that's a nice size tournament. I believe someone has said on the podcast that between 20 and 30 are like the perfect size, because it's quite large, but also it's not too big, so you get to say hi to everyone. You can talk to everyone, and it's still a friendly atmosphere. We are getting some people from England again. So it's going to be fun. The rules pack is out. It's 2300, all the standard stuff really. Prices, like I said, won't be as much as you guys, but trying to make something happen. And just trying to, what I usually do when I run events is I want to just make sure everything runs smoothly, and I actually prefer not to play, which is the opposite of you guys, I think, because you all want to play when you have Reign of Kings, I think, and you usually take turns. If someone has to sit out, then you take 1 game each, maybe, where you sit out. But I prefer to just sit out all the time, because then I can crunch numbers and make sure the round's on time and walk around, do rules questions and everything. I try to be like a good host, as good host as I can. I'm like that friendly uncle who walks around. I'm happy if everyone else is happy, then I'm happy. Then the event is going great. So hopefully it's going to be like that this year as well.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks. So you guys have been to several of the Oslo tournaments, haven't you? At least 3, 4, maybe?
Yeah, I lost count, to be honest. But I think I've been to every one, at least the ones in January, February.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were you ever at do you recall when I had that Ekeberg the Norwegian Championships of Miniature Wargaming? I know for a fact that you were not playing the first year, Truls, because you were playing Infinity, and we were giving you hell about it. Like, we can finally you come to Oslo and you don't play Kings of War. And you're like, hey, when can I ever play Infinity? Like ever? So I have to play Infinity if I can. So that's why I stopped doing that event. So you can no longer play Infinity. There's only Kings of War on the program.
That's very good.
I'm glad you did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to come to Oslo to play Kings of War. No, that's good. That's correct. But at least I remember. I bought some. I bought some gargoyles from William at that point, so at least I contributed, somewhat.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so let's see some more dates from me. I'm going to say some data about last year's Kings of Oslo. We had 20 players then, and 4 of you were from Bergen. Did you fly over or take the train? How do you guys usually travel here?
We took the train last year, and it was great. I wish we were going to do it this year as well, but we were just so slow in organizing the thing that suddenly the train tickets were so expensive, and we were like, okay, let's just go for the plane tickets. So we're flying this year.
Okay, sure. Yeah. How do you organize your armies and stuff? Like, do you have a nice packaging solution for that on the airplane?
Yeah, I have. I bought. It's called Hard Hat. I think it's from Jula. It's a hardware store, and they sell like suitcases, like solid plastic suitcases with foam. They pluck out foam that you can. So they pack quite well. I just need to figure out how to pluck it for my army that I'm bringing this time, which is a bit of a puzzle.
Oh, really? So they actually, you can actually make those work for carrying your army?
Yeah,
like
I've used
a large cube or.
Yeah, it's one of the suitcases actually dimensioned to exactly fit in like a carry-on luggage. So it's exactly like the right dimensions.
Okay.
So I'd probably bring like a small backpack with my stuff in it, and toothbrush, and then the carry-on luggage is my army.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. And if you pluck wrong, you can always. I think maybe a hot glue gun is the best if you have to like put foam back. I've tried.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, because I've tried all sorts of glue to sort of repair foams, like those foam levels, and I've only managed to make it work with a hot glue gun. So yeah, that's a good trick.
Thank you. I'll try that.
Yeah, cool. So I had some thoughts also about this year's scoring. I was going to try a different scoring system because you guys were brave enough to actually use the new Mantic Companion tournament side or tournament program. So
that
seemed
worked
to work
beautifully,
right.
I think. Yeah, it was great. I think it eased our kind of organizing on the day, making us able to actually play as well as punching scores, because it wasn't time consuming at all. It was just plug and play.
Yeah. So I was really glad that you took that plunge actually, and were the first tournament in Norway to use that. That being said, I've decided not to use it because I really like to be able to get out a lot of extra data and stuff like that. Yeah. Plus, I had feedbacks from. I asked one kind of really big tournament organizer in the UK, and I was told that it works fine, but they have experienced some hiccups now and then with the pairings. Apparently, I can't really vouch for this, but it might be fixed now. Maybe it was fixed when you ran it, but they had experienced some things, and they caused them to switch back to something else. But I think I will use the program I've been using since 2011, the Göttinger pairing program, or GOEP, which if it ever stops working, I won't know what to do with myself. It's just a staple of my TOing. And also, I've been a bit worried about those new. There's been changes to. There's been a couple of new scenarios this year. For Clash of Kings, and I don't like what they've done with the push scenario. They've written a limitation now that one unit can only ever carry one token for the purposes of scoring, and people are confused if that means can I carry more than one, or can I carry more than one but only one of them counts. Just already there is an issue, and that should be cleared up. Also, I'm not sure how much that actually gives to the game, because if you're allowed to carry more, then it just becomes it comes down to who is the best player at dropping them all in the last turn and having other friendly units run over and grab them. It becomes a bit of a weird last turn, I think, if you can hold them but spread them out. If you know what I'm thinking about. So I don't know how to play that. I think because I used to love push. It was one of my go-to scenarios when I ran events, but I don't think I'll run it in that format. I think I might just say one token per side, one in the middle, and then no restrictions.
Yeah, well, you can. I mean, it's your tournament. You have the privilege to kind of. If I don't see kind of any. I haven't ever thought that the push scenario had any kind of balance problems previously. So if you want to play it like before, I think you should be free to decide that as well.
Yeah, sure. I'll figure something out. Did you guys change anything from the book scenarios at Raid of Kings that you can recall?
No, we don't. We normally don't change anything. We just play it by the book. We just we have two. I think we have no restrictions on allies, but we decided to play without the withdraw mechanism.
Yes. I also play without the withdraw rule. Yeah. I'm glad we agree on that on both sides of the mountains.
Yeah, I think that is a rule that adds nothing to the game but confusion and complexity.
Yeah, I think we thought it added more than it did. Like when we took it out, I'm sure many people were a bit concerned that it would dumb down the games, but I don't think I've not heard anyone say they miss it.
No, me neither. So I think it's a good thing to play without it.
Yeah. So we'll have a good time again, I think, in Oslo in a few weeks. I'm so happy that I don't need to paint because I'm hosting it. So that's all the pain is yours. And also we have another thing, Jørgen, that we can talk about, but I don't think of anything more to say about the Kings of Oslo tournament. It's coming up. Most people, when they hear this podcast, it might be already over. So this is not me saying please come and sign up. I have 2 spots left, because maybe there won't be 2 spots left, or maybe it will be over with when people hear it. So, but we are going to Clash of Kings UK this year, aren't we, Jørgen?
Yeah. Actually, I think we 5-6 people from Norway already booked, and tickets are bought, and hotel reservations are made. And,
exactly. Yeah, we are planning to be a quite large group this year from Norway. Finally, I've been going alone for a couple of years, so finally people got around to joining me. That's nice. Let's see. It's me, Vidar, Øyvind, Bjørn, you, Morten, Christian. I think we are 7 or 8 people actually are thinking of coming, and I know for a fact that most of us have bought airplane tickets, event tickets, and even hotel tickets. So it's not like we're just talking about it. We're barring some unforeseen crisis, it's going to happen.
Yeah, at least for many of us. I expect some people to drop just because life happens. But
sure, that might always happen. But at least it's looking to be a nice little gang, which is amazing. It is fun though that when I go alone, it all goes smoothly. But now when we all signed up, it's like, oh, the event is changing address. We're like, oh no, and then you guys had your airplane changed, and like, oh no, we're landing several hours later than we thought we were. And like, oh shit, I won't be able to herd all these kittens. Like herding cats is a fun way to. Yeah, I'm known for being a travel leader, but I don't think I'll be able to hold the reins on all these.
No. We don't expect you to. At least not us coming from Bergen. We can hold our own, I think.
I'll give you all the info and tips I have, but you're going to need to fight your way through London City yourself. I think get to the train station and get on the right train up to Nottingham and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It will be fun to introduce you to all the. I have so many friends and people I've met now at tournaments in the UK. So I'm looking forward to introduce you to all of them. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really concerned about one thing, Fred, and that is that you have been traveling alone to international tournaments, and you've kind of made a name for yourself, like this friendly guy, community builder, TO.
Yeah.
And then now you're bringing people like Carlson.
I'm bringing the West Coast players. Oh no!
So I'm really concerned about how your reputation will, if it will stay unscathed through.
I'm a bit worried about that. When you mention it, it's I might have to take take distance from you guys. Like if you show up in like matching T-shirts and stuff like that. I saw Vidar has made a T-shirt. I'll be maybe not wearing the T-shirt. I'm like I'm not with those guys. They're their own team, and we promise not to show up in like furs and bear skins, and we'll wear normal clothes at least.
Yeah. we can promise that.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. So that was a little chat about what's going on in Norway. We mentioned the West Coast event, Reign of Kings. We mentioned the Oslo event, Kings of Oslo, and of course our plans to go to Clash Kings UK later in the year, which we'll hopefully see. If you listen to this podcast, and if you also attend Clash of Kings later this year, and if you see some strange Norwegian guys, then come and say hi. We'll try to be friendly, at least outside of the games, Jørgen. Yeah. But there is a fun. This is kind of an inside joke, but for people listening, there is a fun narrative in Norway that people from the east, we like to say, or like to claim that the West Coast players are very cutthroat and very like competitive, and I think you like to say that maybe about us, and then we both hype each other up, because then we can talk trash about each other a little bit, and maybe and then we have a convenient excuse if, let's say, if like this year when you guys won the entire podium at your tournament, we can say, well, they're power gamers and cheesy competitive, not like us. So it's just we like to keep that narrative going, don't we? We can never admit to we have to call each other cheesy power gamers. That's how it is.
It's important to have an external enemy to keep the morale up.
Yes, exactly. Nice.
It's just part of the storytelling of Kings of War in Norway, I think.
Yep, definitely. We have a lot of good jokes about that over the years.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. And hello to Morten, who is probably listening to this right now. I'm sorry you couldn't join us. The current West Coast champion. We'll see how he does in Oslo, and we'll see how you guys do as well. And I can't really think of any other topics. I don't know. Maybe it's a good time to wrap it up. Are you guys happy with that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in Oslo.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to see you too. It's going to be a good wargaming time.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for this evening, and thanks for joining me. And have a good January going forwards, and see you at the end of the month.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool.
See you later,
All right.
Fred.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.